Hello class, welcome to today's segment, which is actually our last segment in regards to the reading module. So today we'll be discussing the general tips and tricks to help you excel in the reading module. In addition, as we wind up, we shall discuss the teaching styles we will engage in while preparing for the reading IELTS test. So these tips and tricks, I have mentioned them time and again in our previous videos, but I have just decided to place them in a separate video just for emphasis. Okay. Number 1, first peruse through the passage before answering your questions. This is to ensure that you get a general idea of what the passage is all about before answering the questions. After that, you read the question number 1. After you read question number 1, you go to the passage, begin reading the passage, reading, not perusing. You read the passage, you identify your answer, you place it as the answer in your answer sheet. And number 2, for an answer to be correct in the reading module, always ensure you can point out the answer from the passage, identify your keyword in your question and in the answer you've provided. And in the case the two do not have the same keywords, it's probably the wrong answer. So number 1, the keywords match in your question and the answer you've provided, and the answer can directly be pointed out from your passage, and before a court of law you can explain why this is the answer. If you cannot explain it, it probably is not the right answer, for sure. Okay. For easier answers, please fast track to make time for answers you may have a problem in. One of the major keys in excelling in reading is the ability to speed read. Speed reading is whereby you are able to read each sentence of the passage, understand it, but at a very high speed. As I said, the reading module lasts for 1 hour, and this 1 hour is required for you to read the passage, answer them, transfer your answers to your answer sheet if you're doing the paper-based, or type in your answers in your computer, in the computer-based. You get me? So speed is very key in the reading test, especially speed reading, not only the speed of typing, but the speed of reading and understanding context. Speed reading is key. Other than that, being able to fast track answering some question types which are quite easier for you. This is to ensure that you leave time for questions you might have a difficulty in, because we are all human and we all have strong points and weak points. So identifying your strong points and weak points is very key. Okay. High level of concentration is required. Do not overestimate the time given, and please do not zone off. If there's anything you shouldn't do in any IELTS test, is underestimate the time given. Never underestimate the time given. Always treat your time as precious as you can. And please do not get distracted by anything outside noise. Maybe your colleague is typing vigorously, or is it vigorously? Is typing like hard into the computer. Don't be distracted with that. Please just concentrate. And even if you realize you've completed the first passage in 1 minute, not 1 minute, in maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, please don't get too comfortable, because you do not know what lies ahead of you. So just continue with the same pace, and luckily you might even have 20 minutes to spare at the end of the examination. And those 20 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes you are going to use to look around the room, to look at what people are doing. But during the test, please do not get distracted, please. And as I said, the test takes 1 hour, so please prepare to be seated for 1 hour. And not only 1 hour, remember, before even the reading test, you will have already sat for the listening test for 30 minutes. You're given a 5-minute break, of which you don't really leave the room. You still sit in the room. You're given 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, your 1 hour of reading begins. So please be prepared to sit down for 1 hour, and during your practice test, practice your posture, so that you do not get tired easily within the 1 hour. By this time, it will be 1 hour, 35 minutes. 30 minutes for the listening, 5 minutes for the break in between, and then 1 hour for reading. So practice your posture and practice high levels of concentration for the whole 1 hour. Okay. Because actually excelling in the IELTS exam as a whole is not only about knowledge, it's also about other things that may affect your ability to answer your exam or concentrate in your exam. E.g., for example, you might be the best student, but since you had not prepared to sit down for that long, or maybe not taking a bathroom break for 1 hour, you might really require to go for a bathroom break, and by the time you go and come back, maybe those are like 7 minutes gone, and 7 minutes out of 1 hour is a lot of time. So please just practice being able to sit down for the test for the whole 1 hour, not even whole 1 hour, for the whole 2 hours 45 minutes for the whole test. Yeah. Please familiarize with phrasing and structures of the passage and how to answer different structures of questions before the test day. So this still goes back to practicing before the actual test day. This is to ensure that you familiarize with how questions are phrased, how paragraphs are phrased, how questions are paraphrased, how answers are paraphrased. You just have the general feel of how the reading test is. Please do not just go with the theoretical knowledge to the exam room. Or always, you rather even have no general knowledge, no theoretical knowledge, but practical knowledge is master in IELTS, because you cannot excel in something you have not prepared for. You might be very bright, but if you have not prepared, then how are you going to excel? You get what I mean? Like, you might be the best of the best, but with no preparation, then you're not going to excel. You see what I mean? And I don't want that for any students or any of my candidates. So yeah, what else? Yeah, and as I said, for reading, the aim of all of us should be a band 8 and above. Band 8, band 8.5, band 9. Guys, with this guidance I have given you, I guarantee you that the reading module is easy and you will perform well. As long as you've prepared, you've practiced, there's nothing to be afraid of, and yeah, you'll excel. And well, for teaching, the way forward as a class is, after these pre-recorded videos, we are going to have live classes, of which I advise every one of us to attend these live classes every live class, I'd advise you to attend it before your actual test day. In these live classes, we will be tackling at least one full reading test, or even two if it's possible, and answering them and engaging as a class to see each fellow candidate's point of view, the strategy that works best for them. We'll mark the answers, we'll review our wrong answers and why maybe person A chose this as the answer and why they thought that is the answer, and why answer B was the correct answer. You know, it will be very engageful. So please always ensure that you attend the live classes. Apart from live classes, we'll also be having takeaway assignments whereby you'll have self-paced tests whereby you go sit for the practice test by yourself. After that, you mark for yourself, you self-assess for yourself, and note down each maybe failed answer and review why you failed that answer. And guys, before I forget, please, for each practice test, note down your score. Your score, maybe if it's 32 out of 40, 39 out of 40, note down your band score. And please, for each failed question, note down why you failed that question. Go back to the passage, review why the answer is A and not B, and understand why you placed B as your answer and not A, and then analyze why A is the answer. Have you understood me? So that you ensure that in your next practice test, you do not repeat that mistake. And please do not just mentally note down your mistake. Write it down below your practice test. Write down the reason why I failed question 8 is because of this and this and this. The reason why I failed question 39 is because of this and this and this. You'll just, it doesn't have to be like a long thing. Question 8, you just write wrong past tense. Question 9, you write maybe something like did not understand the question. Maybe if you failed question 39, you write something like was confused between two questions. Always note down the reason why you failed a certain question, and ensure that the next practice test you don't repeat that mistake. And by the time you get to your 10th practice test, you will not have any reason to fail, I tell you. Maybe you just failed because of human error, the normal human error, and by the time you get to the exam room, you will be at your level possible best, of which it might be a 9, 8, maybe 7, if maybe that's your level best, because we are also all endowed with different abilities. And your level, just ensure that you've attained your very level best, and that will be perfect. Yes. And guys, before you go to the actual test, please do at least 10 practice tests. Before you go to do your actual exam, do at least 10 practice tests. The first 5 practice tests will be focused on getting the correct answer, and the next 5 practice tests will be about getting the correct practice test on the correct answers on time. So the first part is about getting the correct answers. The next part is getting the correct answers on time. And these 10 I have talked about are not inclusive of the test we are going to do in our live classes. Have you understood? So yeah, practice makes perfect. And remember, everybody's strategy is different. What might work for me, for student A, might not might not be what works best for you. So with practice, you also discover which strategies work best for you. Yes. Okay. Apart from the takeaway assignments, there'll also be voluntary group discussions, whereby you team up with maybe 3 of your fellow candidates and you discuss maybe your practice tests. You compete between each other, you review each other's answers, and you just discuss. Group discussions are very, very nice, as they help you to see different people's point of views and also avoid mistakes that person might have committed, and ensure that you just don't commit the same mistake as them, and vice versa. So the 4 learning styles will be these pre-recorded videos. After that, it will be live classes. After that, it will be takeaway assignments, and then after that, there shall be group discussions. So those will be our 4 learning styles in the reading module. So with that, we've come to the end of our reading module, and congratulations for finishing half of IELTS exam. The other one being listening. The quarter was listening, this quarter is reading, so half is gone. The half remaining is writing and speaking. And guys, always remember, these pre-recorded videos are only knowledge, and for knowledge to be useful, it must be applied. So apply, practice, practice, practice. Okay guys, congratulations, and maybe meet in the next module, which will be writing. So bye.